It's every mother's worst nightmare. My baby is choking. What can I do? Don't panic. Do this first. Manual suction devices for choking are heavily marketed to anxious parents. In this video, we'll cut through the marketing hype and look at the brutal truths about these devices based on science and expert recommendations. Firstly, let me state the evidence-based choking protocols: back blows, chest thrusts or abdominal thrusts, and CPR. These are recommended first-line treatments by organizations in all countries based on the recommendations of ILCOR, the International Liaison Committee on Resuscitation, but more about that later. First, the facts on anti-choking suction devices. Anti-choking devices are registered with the American Food and Drug Administration. This means the manufacturers have listed their business and the product on the FDA database. It does not mean the FDA has approved of the device or verified that it works or even recommended it. It simply means that it is available and can be marketed in the USA. In fact, the US FDA, as recently as March 2026, issued a statement advising people to follow established protocols for choking and indeed warned of potential problems with these devices. You can find a link to that statement down below. Some of the criticism of these devices cite testing them on cadavers or mannequins with minimal or no success and with the potential to cause injury. You can also find a link to that research below. First aid guidelines are heavily influenced by the recommendations of the International Committee on Resuscitation, known as ILCOR, who, among other things, review and analyze research and scientific evidence and publishes its consensus, which is then considered and adopted by member organizations, including the American Red Cross, the American Heart Association, the Australian and New Zealand Resuscitation Councils, and peak bodies throughout the world. ILCOR has encouraged more research be conducted as there is insufficient evidence to either recommend or not, and what evidence has been provided appears to have a strong manufacturer bias. Now, I'm no expert on data collection and research, but I have noticed a lot of anecdotal evidence provided to the manufacturer in exchange for a new device. And I'm not sure how that could stack up as research. Down below, you can find a link to the evidence that ILCOR did review. It is a very lengthy document, so you can just jump straight to page 12. The Australian Resuscitation Council and peak bodies throughout the world all say the same thing. Insufficient evidence, so no change to current protocols. I will say this, however, to their credit, manufacturers do say that their device should be used after first aid fails, which, in my opinion, is quite an emotive way to put it. Not if it fails, or after you have tried proven methods, but it suggests that it will fail, and you must have one of these devices, or you will feel guilty because you cannot protect your child. I'm not going to get into a debate in the comments section with the manufacturers of these devices because they seem to have many copy-paste responses to anybody who questions them, and I'm not going to give them free advertising or free publicity here. The standard recommended proven method for clearing a foreign body airway obstruction includes back blows and either chest or abdominal thrusts, the Heimlich maneuver, that depends on your local medical authority's guidelines. If you learn to do this properly and confidently, there is no need to feel guilty and no need for unnecessary anxiety. In the next video, we'll have a look at what a choking child actually looks like, what is the mechanism, and what you can do about it to clear the airway and ensure your child is safe. Stay safe and care for each other.